All right, welcome back to part four of our empty offense series. Today we're talking about our horizontal stuff and basically just splitting the field into different zones and trying to hit all zones quick. So we want to be able to stretch the field horizontally and vertically. In this session will be stretching the field horizontally. The next one will be vertical. Put this slide up in a few of the last couple sessions talking about kind of what the offense is really about. And we're really trying to run the sweeps and the plays off a sweep. And then in a lot of cases, this will be no mode. We're trying to hit the horizontal areas and the vertical areas. So we're going to get in an empty set, and you've got to worry about motion right, motion left, throw it quick right, throw it quick left, throw it down the field. And today it's those throwing it quick right and left plays that we're going to talk about it, and then running the box when you get the favorable look. So this is, some people call it split field offense or split field defense or however you want to call it, but that's what we're talking about today. I just called it horizontal and vertical because that's kind of in our philosophy of what we're trying to do. So if you were here and, this particular defense, and we get this one a decent amount out of empty, you got 5 in the box, you got 3-on-3 out here and 3-on-2 out here. Depending on leverage out here, this could be a good look. And then the 5-on-5 in the box is always a decent look. So, I put a real vanilla thing up there just to kind of show you, but you could diagram about any defense you could imagine and see the difference. If this guy walks down into the box, now it's 2-on-2 out here. That's a good look on the quick game, because remember, tonight we're talking about horizontal, which means we're going to throw the ball out here somewhere or throw the ball out here somewhere. Hitch could be a screen, a bubble, an outside screen, anything like that. So, and if we don't like them, we're blocking run in the box for the quarterback, whether it's draw or just an ISO. And in this case, most of these plays will be ISO type runs for the quarterback or power. So this is our base horizontal full field play. Ran this for years. Used to call it basic. And then we started tagging it right and left because we had hitches on one side and screen on the other. So we just call this play. Several things can happen. So if we call Roger or Louis, Roger's right, obviously Louis left. The call side's going to run the screen to number 1. So here you got on Louis, you got a screen, you got somebody blocking. If you guys by himself, guy by himself is always going to run a hitch, but on the weak side, they're always going to run hitches. So here you got 2 receivers, they're running hitches, screen out here. If the quarterback likes it, he throws it. If he doesn't, he runs it. And it's really that simple. And he runs the ISO. So we're blocking here. I show the fold scheme here, but I'll show you a few of the things we do on the offensive line where we zone block it, or we can block it like power, or we can block it in a fold scheme. And I think either that's something you do week to week, or it's just something, maybe depending on how much you did this, you like for one scheme more than the other. If you're running a ton of zone, you may just want to zone block it. If you run a ton of power, you may want to power block. But in either case, we're just going to base up these guys and go. A key thing before we start learning about this play and getting into the details of it is understanding these wing backs are real versatile. These 2 running backs right here. When they're in the box, they block like ISO. They're going to load up on the backer. So if one of them's in the box, he loads up on that side backer. If they're a receiver, like here, this is the L, he's a receiver, they have to do the receiver rules. So he's going to run a hitch on the weak side, screen on the strong side. If they're in the box, they block for the quarterback. If they're out wide, they do the receiver rules. And that matters when you get into all the different formations, because we might be in a situation where we have the right wing way out here, and he's running a route, but the left wing's in the box in the backfield, and he's running for like the quarterback ISO. So you get a lot of different looks doing it that way. We run, to put it in perspective, I mean, I had literally hundreds of plays to pull from when trying to find a video to tag a few clips for this to show you guys what we were, what all we've been doing with it. So we had, this just is a play we've called a ton over the years with different formations, backs in the backfield, backs not in the backfield. I mean, all over. We just had a ton of them. And one of our more efficient plays, and we'll get into self-scouting at the very end of this, but we based everything off of efficiency. So did the play get 4 more yards, or did it get a first down if it was, a third, fourth down situation? And this was one of our most efficient plays, meaning we had a decent play almost every time. Now, it also is one of the plays that got us very few big time plays. We had very few 20-plus gains on this play, but we all had a super high efficiency rate, which is really odd. Kind of think about a fade or plays like that where the opposite would be true. You'd have every time it was completed, it's an explosive play, so the explosive percentage is high, but the efficiency rate's really low. So about 75 to 80% of the time, we're going to have an efficient play when we call one of these basics, and that was something that was really neat to see. So I broke it down by positions because we're only talking about a few plays tonight, so we got a little more time to get into it. The quarterbacks, it's a pre-snap RPO. It's a pre-snap RPO. We're going to decide before we snap the ball, are we throwing it here, or am I running? So if he's throwing the screen or the hitch, and this is something we did, some people do it a little differently, but we were going to throw it the same way. It was just a grip and rip. We worked on throwing hitches just like throwing fast screens. So we're trying to, if we knew we had leverage on the hitch, we're just going to catch and throw. Just like a shortstop, grip it and rip it, get the ball as fast as you can. This obviously people do that with the now screens and the bubbles and all that. That quarterback's job is just to get the ball to the good kids. Use common sense. Somebody's playing way off, getting the ball, things like that. On the run reads, if he was deciding to run, and if you ever didn't feel like you had a good throw on either side, then he runs. But we start with the throw. Can I throw out here? Can I throw out here? Can I run the ball? You decide to run it, then we're going to catch the snap and run right at the center and cut off his block. So if we got a shade like you see right here, then obviously we're going to run in that A gap. If we got a nose, then we're going to run right at him. And depending on the way he goes, we'll get a two-way go and cut off that block and then cut off the block on the backer. And we practice this. Like we'll talk about practice stuff another session too, but we'll get our quarterback with our lineman by himself, and he'll just work this quarterback ISO run over and over. Like I said, there's a lot of different ways you could block it. I'll show you how we blocked it, but I think there's a magic way to block it. I think the key is just giving the kid options, have some decent opportunities. All right, at running back, I said a few minutes ago, you got to figure out if you're a receiver or if you're in the backfield. If you're out wide as a receiver, you use the receiver rules. We're going to talk about them in a minute. If you're in the backfield, you're going to load up on the front, on that side inside linebacker. So wherever they line up, you got him. Now remember, what they'll do on our line is the line, if they get an outside backer up on the line, which they do usually when there's a wing or a backer, then the line would take those two. He would fold in, get it down on the nose. We run that way. Now, at receiver, fast greens, what's the route? Fast arms, fast feet. Stick the route, get back line scrimmage, catch the ball, get vertical. We worked on all the different looks. You can have an aggressive corner. You can have a corner playing off. You can see that here. If the corner's coming up hard, you got to flat down the line, kick him out. If the corner's bailing, you can go flat down the line, but then redirect and take the more dangerous man. Anybody on the backside's got hitches, and that's your receiver's route. We spend a ton of time on this block right here because now used to we could steal yards out there on this play, but now defense has gotten really good at this. They take this play on pretty well, so you got to do a better job of blocking it than you used to. There's some trips, different looks we did. We kind of traditional block it there, whatever, but we can make an X call. We blocked on and kicked out with the number 3 guy. Probably did that as much as anything, and we let that guy make a call. They just base blocked it, which went 2 had the corner, 3 had the next guy, or we X blocked. And when these clips, you'll probably see some of both. On the offensive line, we usually block like this. We usually ran a fold scheme. That was the base way to do it. It's a base play. We're just going to fold scheme it and block out. Now, remember, when this guy walks up on the line, he comes with him. Now he sees him. That's something we call a 2-up. So they take the 2 up on the line, 2 up here. We do pass pro 2. And then he takes him. Over here, they would still fold because there's no 2 up. If you get a 2 up on both sides, then obviously both sides would do it because that meant they'd have somebody coming. You say, well, coach, what would you do if this running back wasn't here and he was there. Well, if he's there, they're going to make a 2-up call. Those two block those two. Nobody blocks him. But remember, if he's not there, he's out running a route and they got an extra guy in the box. We got to throw the ball. I mean, then nobody's got him. We got to throw the ball. The great thing about this play is number-wise, you'll never be wrong. Number-wise, you'll never be wrong. Now, there'll be some plays you get your ass kicked. There'll be some plays where somebody just whips somebody. But you'll never call a bad play calling this play. And that's one of the great things about this play is from a play caller standpoint, you just kind of call it and quarterback understands, you know, get him going. And I've, of course, been known to help the quarterback a little bit, maybe holler out some kind of code word or something to tell him to throw the hitch or throw the screen or run it. You know, it's okay to call pitches for him every now and then if he hadn't gotten it. But he's got a good view. He can see what he can throw. So here's the clips. And there's a pretty good bit of these. There's a lot of clips today. Let's see, we got a question here. I got the chat up. I'm trying to answer the question. Does the line does the line have calls to identify blocking? The line will block what we call basic on this. They're just going to block odd and go. Unless the line coach, see, one of these coaches is signaling to the line, another one's signing to the receivers. We can sometimes change the blocking scheme without the kids even knowing it. You know, we just call power, base, whatever. Now, if you asked what they had to call to identify who to block, the only time we called stuff on the line was if they walked up. If this guy right here walked up on the line and we had 2 up on the tackle, we would likely block out and leave him alone.
Okay, yeah, coach, that's my question. So I've had a couple of different O-line coaches at work that I've had work for me, and one had specific like calls that they would give for whatever technique they're going to have. So, like for example, what you're talking about, if they walk a guy up on the edge there, did you guys have a call that tackle would give if he was going to fold or if he wasn't going to fold or something like that?
Yeah, if that guy walked up on the line, they said 2 up, which meant he had 2 on him, 2 on or outside of him, and these 2 guys would kick out. There would be no fold because there's no back in there. I don't know if you can really tell. This guy's a receiver in the formation. So these 3 guys are going to block screen. These 2 are going to run a hitch or screen, one or the other. We've tagged both. And the line's going to block these guys. Well, because this guy's coming, he takes him, he takes out, and we don't have anybody for him on the quarterback run, but the quarterback shouldn't be throwing. I mean, the quarterback shouldn't be running. I'm sorry. The quarterback should be throwing. So we did not make any calls on the interior. So like if you're saying, did he make a call if they walked a guy up? Did we make a call if this guy was a shade or a 3? No, we really didn't. We just kind of knew how to block that. We blocked it the same way every time. But we did make calls when they walked up on the edge. And the reason for that is we did that every play. So if you say, well, they know it's – no. If we were in buck sweep and this guy walked up, they would say 2 up, 2 up. Now, we wouldn't change a damn thing about the play. But but every time they got another guy up, we were making this call to say, I'm alerting him, because for pass pro, it became important. We hadn't gotten the O-line really details like we will in the session. It's 4 positions. But the O-line pass pro it's almost imperative they understand the 2 guys on the edge and how to pick that up. So we kind of based everything off of that, try to make it simple for the O-line. So here we got this guy coming. Looks like they're bringing a lot of people. We throw the screen, get yards. Just grip and rip. I'm going to let this thing run, and I can see the chat. So if any guys got questions, just put it in the chat or something. You can see the quarterback technique there. Just grip and rip. He's just picking a side. So we get here, for example, and what we want our offense to be about, talking about split field offense tonight. We want to be able to run this guy in motion in all those plays we've been talking about. We want to run this guy in motion that way and run all the plays we've been talking about. We want to throw it out here quick, and hit all 5 of these guys down the field. Yeah, the team's got black line. We on the white, coach, so we on the road. This wasn't none of my doing. Late in the year, probably about the best they could see on the field, or they ran out of white or something. But we probably I don't know if we hard counted here or what, but we're lined up. He can throw it out there, throw it down here, and run it. And all these are going to be screens because I put them in order of all these are screens, these first few. and then there'll be runs and hitches and some of that. But we're at home now, so we got up there, through the screen, got yards. See the quarterback. That's good mechanics by the quarterback. Just grip it and rip it. Screen down here. And you think, well, why are they letting y'all do this? Well, I mean, all this stuff works together, when you work, if you can kind of equally be good at the verticals and the horizontal stuff and all that, it's kind of, it's kind of a bear for the defense. You can catch them flat footed. This particular team is really good playing here. This is us in the black here, screen down here, it's up there. We get it out to the field, make something happen. Like I said, there was probably 30 or 40 minutes of these plays, 7-yard games. I mean, there wasn't a ton of explosive plays, like major plays. Have been one of the better ones probably right there. A lot of these plays were 7-8 yard gains, but there was just a ton of them. So now we got screen down here, probably hitch up there, throw the screen, block it. Let's watch this one again. How about the blocking? Let's see what, these two would have these two. And so see how he's real flat? Why does he go real flat like that when there's nobody around? Because you always attack that area real flat in case you get somebody coming hard late and take him. I mean, that's a really good technique there by that inside receiver. Good job by the quarterback, gripping and ripping. Same thing up there. We got screen. That's a good job taking those two on. Might have X'd that. Yeah, see, they're just tacking the edge. That's a real good job by those guys. One of the main things we did a ton in practice was block screens. A good way to get the blood flowing early. And they all want the football, so you got a block to get it. All right, we're down here now. Get it. We kind of split them. That's perfect. That's what you want right there. You get the explosive play if you split those blocks. All right, so that must start the quarterback runs. We got this thing divided. Let's back it up a minute. All right, so now I'm gonna be honest with you. I ain't sure. And I don't get on to the quarterback. One of the questions you might have is, why didn't he throw the hitch that time, or why didn't he whatever? Well, here's the way this play works. There's not a right answer, but there is a wrong answer. So sometimes if they go 3-on-3 out here, we cannot throw a screen because we can't block them. So right here, I don't know if I'd throw the hitch up here if we're throwing the hitch, if this guy's in the window, unless you thought you'd get it out there. I would throw down here. But if the quarterback didn't feel comfortable with it, and if he thought this was a 3-1 box, it's really about where does he think he is. If he identifies this guy as being out of the box and going to come out here, then that's a 3-1 box. You got to run the ball. So if he runs it and gets 3 yards, you can't come back and and be mad at him. It's not a wrong decision. The wrong decision would be doing something just asinine, throwing it right to him. Like I said, 3-on-3 out there and you throw it out there anyway, or 7 guys in the box and you run it anyway. There's going to be some gray area of letting the kid decide it. And what I've learned in teaching a play like this, where it's a packaged kind of play, is to make that kid be confident. Tell the quarterback what I just said to you. Tell him, hey, bud, good job. Let's go. Next time, maybe throw it out here, but, no big deal. Like, let him be confident. Don't sit there and dance around. If he decides he's about to run it, he needs to go. And we're running. There you go. We're just blocking power. We block power most of the time. This particular, we have that quarterback's pretty good at running the ball. So see, he's identifying this guy's out of the box. We're just going to block down right there, pull the backside guard, run power. And that's all we were doing right there.
What's your pitch?
Stop.
Same thing here. He's probably identifying this guy's out. This one is out. I guess we're going to run it here because I think these are all runs right now. So we're identifying that as a 3-2 box. We kind of slide in there. And it ended up being a good call. If you thought, well, how come, that was kind of tight. Well, the guy ended up running out. So look at this play. Watch this guy right here, number 5. And he probably did this early in the game. He's running out, so he's not in the box. I mean, that was a good call by the quarterback. Same thing here. Get this guy stepped out, so we went. Get a little good rip in there.
Parker, I have a question.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Somebody said I had a question.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, what you got?
Will the quarterback immediately always take off, or will there be any situations where he may set up for throwing the screen and then take off, allowing the offensive line to open up the alleys even more?
Usually we treated this like quarterback ISO, and they just went. And then we have another play which we're actually going to talk about on Wednesday, which is a vertical play we call choice. One of our vertical routes, we block the same thing, but we kind of set up, pass set a little bit, identify the same thing, and he would actually look to throw it, not faking it, but actually look to throw it and take off. So for us, it was two different plays. On this one, we just wanted to attack an area, but there's obviously some merit to run it like draw. But we want to run this one like ISO. We want to get in that box before that linebacker folds in, because they inevitably are going to. And then there's also times where you want that guy to drop in pass coverage and then go. And for us, that was just two different plays. But there'd be nothing wrong with doing that on this coach. If you're asking me, would that work? Absolutely.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, let's see. I want y'all to see there's some better. We haven't even seen some of the best plays of this. How it looks. All right. It's a run. And this quarterback wasn't as good of a runner, and I showed that the other day, not to belittle him, but to show that you don't have to be a great runner. And he did kind of drop back there, Coach, ironically. That's not what we told him to do, but he did it. Now we're in quads. But see, we're in quads. We got these guys out here. This guy's coming down because we got the wing, easy throw. And see, he's blocking for the quarterback. So if you look at this wing back right here, he's blocking for the quarterback. We went cruise where we hard counted him, got him over there. I mean, that's a tough set now. If you got a quarterback that's pretty decent, and you can run quarterback ISO with that guy folding in and run it right there with quads, basically, with three receivers up there with him. That's a tough set to defend right there. And if they overload it, they take him and put him on this side, this should leave the hitch wide open. So this guy's running the hitch. If they ever had no outside backer, we want the other hitch. This is where all those formations that we talked about in the first session. So if you're watching this now, whether it's the playback or live, and you didn't see all the formations earlier, small six, now we got quads down there, same thing. We got all four wide. If you get into all these formations, you just got to find one that it works. I mean, to be honest with you, yeah, sometimes in 2-for-2, it doesn't work. But sometimes you get in quads and, or you get in some kind of overset or something, and you got them playing way off, and it's a stealing 5-10 yards on the screen. So this is quads. Let's see. Same thing here down on the goal line. We got in quads. The quarterback took a little too long. We covered him up, got in the end zone. All right. Here we motion. We talk about some shifts in motion. So we motion this guy out to get an extra blocker. But it's the same play. The quarterback could have run that if somehow they ran out with him or something. If we'd have gotten this guy take off with him, then quarterback would just ran. So sometimes shift, same thing here. Motion across, get an extra blocker, and they went with it. So see, or they watch. We got 3-on-3 out here. We go, he comes with it, they back off. That's a great job by the quarterback. Throw that hitch. Steal him. Hard to play at all, because had they not done that, we would have come over here and ran the screen. We were prepared for the screen down here. And if they'd have done a great job on both, they'd have had to play 3-1 in the box or something like that. We'd have had to run the ball. And you say, I think if you were watching this and trying to be critical, you would say something like, well, what if they just come down and get in your face, coach? That hit your screen ain't no good. Well, absolutely not. But that's why this all goes together. So next time we talk about verticals, and most folks would rather give you these horizontal plays than the verticals. That's just the number 2 hitch. I guess these are going to be a bunch of hitches. See here, they're playing off of us. We just throw the hitch. Remember, we called the side. It wasn't if you know you saw a bunch of them in a row, but a lot of times we called the trips. We called down here to screen, but depending on really the field. What I really liked was to throw the screen into the boundary and the hitch to the field. So here we call Roger, throw a screen into the boundary, hitch to the field. So I know a lot of those early clips had 3 receivers running this, running the screen. That had nothing to do with it. We made a right or a left call, and the call we made ran the screen. Backside always ran hitches. So we obviously called a right call here. These guys run hitches. And I got to get through this. We got a lot of film on here tonight. I don't keep it all night. Same thing here. Probably throwing a hitch over here. If I can say we ran screen up there, they did the same thing. They didn't cover some on the hitch. We got 6-7 yards. Same thing here. We got quads. The inside hitch. All right, now we got brown. So we got the wings. They're folding in. We're throwing a backside hitch here. So you can kind of see this is the full package of the play. You get a guy playing way off of you and just throw out there. So same thing here. We got this guy by himself, and see how the quarterback's just gripping and ripping. You know, there's not throwing it different because it's a hitch. He needs to get that thing out as fast as he can. Same thing here. Single receiver side. Get it out to the hitch. Playing off, throw it out there. Tough play to defend. Screen to the boundary. Now we're talking about twins. I think some of these are some twins looks. It's just 2-man fast screens. I'll get the idea. Everybody's got access to this. They can watch. You kind of see down here. There's a bunch of them. And I could have added twice that many because there's just so many plays like that. But that's our basic play. If we started in empty, that's what we're going to do. Now, when we bring a back in the backfield, I would prefer to call this one Zorro or Zulu, which is just inside zone. I love inside zone. Inside zone really actually complements what we do offensively, which is a lot of wing T-ish stuff with the downs and pulls and all. It's the one time where the O-line's got to do something that's a little difficult for them, but they usually like it because they can kind of cover people up and go, and O-line coaches like it. So we call inside zone, and now we added an extra element. So if we bring the back in the backfield, now if there's multiple receivers on the side, we're going to run the screen. If a guy's by himself, they're going to run a hitch. So these guys are not by themselves. They're going to run a screen. They're by themselves. They're going to hitch. And that's the base rule. We can talk about some variations in a minute. And then, of course, we're going to run inside zone, which everybody runs. We could have a 10-hour clinic on just this play. But we go on and read the defensive end like old school, just so it could be a throw here, a throw here. We could give it, or we could pull it. So it gives that added dimension of it. What I like is having a small group of plays that you call over and over again. So we're saying Zorro and Zulu a million times, and the kids and all these different things are happening. We're saying Roger, Louie, and all these different things are happening. So that's the gist of the play. The quarterback's going to do typical inside zone stuff, but he's going to pass read first. Can I throw it out there? Can I throw it out there? If not, I'm going to run it. But now instead of running that ISO like Coach was asking about, it's going to be inside zone. and the line's going to block inside zone, right or left. The ball carrier's got to slide in, get the football, read the front side A. So basically read the nose if it's head up. If they're not head up, the first lineman that way. So the shade or the 3 that way, you press at them, cut back. You know, so if it's here, you're going to press here, cut back, or go. I mean, you got to be good at that. That's an easy one. But it's true inside zone. Say, well, coach, do y'all run mid zone, or do you run wide zone? Or yeah, I mean, we could. But the reason we don't in this particular world is because this is a split field play. Like, we want to stay at the reason we're handing this off is there's 5 in the box, and we want to get vertical with this because we picked this horizontal zone to attack, and now we want to get out of it as fast as possible. So we want to throw the screen, throw this hitch, throw the screen, or run in here. And so if we decide to run in here, we want to really press vertical, press that A gap, and go. Does it bounce sometimes? Sure it does. But the plan is to push it through the box. Everybody's got this and access to it, so I'm not going to read to you. But the other running back, we wind the other running back for the quarterback. So think about it like there's a running back here. He's running inside zone left. If there's another back in the backfield, either with motion or with just lined up as a wing, he'll arc around for the quarterback. So if the quarterback pulls it, we got an extra blocker. If he's a receiver, he doesn't do that. He stalk blocks like a receiver. But if he's in the backfield, he's going to block for the quarterback. This is the same slide as earlier about receivers. Now, this is how we blocked inside zone. If you covered, you're going to block on, fan. And if you're uncovered, you're going to combo with somebody. If the guards are covered or center, then they probably got help. The tackles don't have help. I really would love to go. I love this play, by the way. And I could talk about this play for hours, but we would really bore some people. And so if we want to have a long talk, if you got questions specifically about this, please ask me, or we can have a whole nother conversation about how we block inside zone, because you can get kind of complicated technical with it. But the reality is every kid needs to stand up there on offense line. And I mean, this is old, but this is still good. If it's zone left, they can take their right hand, stick it out, and everything that way and over, they got help. I mean, it ain't really that hard. That's their zone. And if their zone's not threatened immediately, they'll be like the center right here. He's got nobody in his zone. And he's going to pop there. We're going to combo up to his guy. It's really that simple. And then it's just a matter of doing it. And why some people listen to this know a lot more about inside zone than I do. But I don't want to gloss over it like it's not important. But I just want to talk about the play today and talk about the techniques later when we get to that point. I think this play caused a lot of variations. Like Coach asked me earlier about, do we run draw or ISO on the basic play, on the Roger and Louie? And I said, we just ran ISO, but draw would work. I think you got to do you guys. So I think this concept of how we're running this Zorro and Zulu is really good. I'll argue that. If you would rather throw a bubble, if you would rather read the pop pass, the post snap RPO where you kind of read the throw off of it, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. If you want to X block, or block the read and automatically give it with your other running back, if you want to load up on him, and or if you want to block same side so he doesn't cross, he actually blocks and looks like we're coming zone this way, and the other running back's going that way. We have done all those things, guys. So if you want to dissect this film we're about to watch, you're going to see some stuff that doesn't look like what I drew up in those diagrams because we changed it. It was an easy change. We either changed it that whole year or we just changed it for that game. Or hell, sometimes I just told the kid to play before. This time just go block the linebacker like it's Jerry. Don't arc around. And it works. So this play is so adaptable. So I hope if you're watching this, you're getting something you can use for split field stuff. But don't feel like exactly how we did it is the way you have to do it. You really, because I wouldn't do it that way. I would do what I thought our kids could do. I wouldn't do this exact thing because it changed every year slightly. The route we ran, what we asked the quarterback to do. Like, I like my quarterback running, but a couple times our quarterback wasn't a great runner, so we let him read the pop. We blocked the read basically and read the next guy like people do. We did all that stuff. And this is another one. This play, look, I mean, it's 13 minutes of clips, and I cut that down. And I just did that so people could watch it. We don't need to watch 13. But you watch the inside zone there, just kind of complements buck sweep a little bit, where, you know, you kind of got the back there and you just squirt through. We're going to see a lot of these. So I'm going to let it run some. You guys have questions, ask. But now we got two backs in the backfield and a tight end. So this would be red, B, probably zone right. So this one's blocking. That was zone left. I'm sorry. So you can kind of see I wasn't prepared. So this guy's going to block around for the quarterback. We're going to get a give. This guy jumped on the ground. That helped. All right, same thing here. Backs on the same side, which we do every now and then. There's a backs run zone left. That's the read we got to give. That's a really good job up front. Let's see. There's the read. We comboed up there and turned him. That's a really good job. All right, now we got, this is 2 by 2, so it'd be like Frank, R. That's his E. There's one running back. There's the other running back. We can go jet both ways. See, he's running a bubble. So you see what I'm saying? Like that year, we ran a lot of bubbles on this slot. Where this guy'd run a bubble. He'd run a hitch because he's by himself. And we could throw it either one or we could give it. And we gave it there. I think all these first ones are gives. Same thing here. Bubble on both sides because they were receivers. Remember, these running backs rules kind of as if they're a receiver, they do receiver things, and it's this split field stuff. So they're running a bubble. You get a give. That's a good look right there. What it's supposed to look like from the split field version of it. See, we got 3-2 box. These guys are playing the bubbles, so we get a give. That guy took the quarterback. Man, that's we couldn't ask for any better than that. We didn't hardly have to block anybody and got yards. All right, so these are the quarterback runs. Let me rewind this one and show you again. So now we got him as a wing. So we're running zone here. We got a screen here. We got a hitch up here. We're going to run zone. And the quarterback pulls it. This is the extra guy for him, which we talked about. You can kind of see why that matters. See, right here, it doesn't really matter. The read came down. That's the read that we're blocking right there because he slanted inside the tackle. And if he does that, you got to block him. So right now, he doesn't know if he's making a block that matters or not. But it's almost like counter. If he pulls it, now he starts blocking. The quarterback's got the ball, and we got an extra guy. Man, that's a good look there now. That's exactly what it should look like. I see it on the back copy. First guy on or outside the tackle is the read. So there's the read. He comes down, we pull it, and now we got it. Good look. Most everybody runs some stuff like this. So I'm not trying to act like this is earth-shattering. What I think is different about our thing is just that we for real are just kind of looking at it. Can we throw there? Can we throw there? And if not, we run this play. This is not our number one play. We run a million times like some people do. It's just a way for us to spread the field. And a lot of times without motion. It's a little cute set. We got the tackles out wide. Ran it with them. There's the read. They just went zone. Same here. We got a wing so we can block for the quarterback again. That's the read right here. This is the wingbacks guy. You got him. That's a great job. That's a great job. And he didn't hardly have to touch him. He just knew his assignment, covered him up. All right, I think these are a few of the throws off of it. So there's a throw, fast screen. We just it's just like the Roger and Louis play. So I didn't put a ton of these in here because it's the same stuff. And yes, I mean, if you would have thrown it out there on the Roger, you'd throw it out there on this. Because there's a back in the backfield, you get some different looks on the team. If it's open out there, you throw it out there. All right, same thing here. We throw the screen. See the line's blocking zone. Everybody's playing running zone right. You just do the screen. Same thing here. We got tight ends in there to still play. Same thing here, I believe. This is zone, so he's blocking on zone. All right, this is another three. Now we're back to this three-man look, which we do this every now and then just for fun. But now we throw the screen, so we just called this Zulu, you know, just like every other play. Just a different formation. We got the 3-0 linemen instead of 5, and we just do it that way. We got motion. Love this play off of motion because you're going to see a bunch of those coming up. I'm just going to let it run. But we ran a bunch of these against motion because it looked like our sweep. So this could, even though in that case it was an extra blocker, what we're doing is trying to bring 2 guys for the quarterback. You understand? The guy that comes in motion is always going to end up arcing for the quarterback. And if we also have a wing back, it's a Z, then that's just an extra guy. So same thing here, we got motion. So that looks like sweep right, and we're ending up running inside zone left. Everybody runs this kind of stuff, nothing earth shattering, but it does complement our stuff well when we run a bunch of Jerry or a bunch of whatever on this. So we send him in motion and do all kind of things with him, but this time we ran inside zone. So this play really is kind of one of the things when this part of it, when we send motion, it's really more of a sweep complement play than it is, but we still should have the throws and everything else off of it. Same here, we got motion, covered up, real good job by the O-line there. It's not the same play, but the same team. Same kind of look. We just go in zone there, covered up, built a wall. That's a good look there. What the O-line should do. All right, we got a guy for the quarterback now, and we got motion. So let's see. See how here we got 2 guys for the quarterback? I love this place. We bring the Z in motion sometimes, and we got 2 for the quarterback. You can give it, or if we pull it, we got an extra guy here to block for the quarterback. You see, we just what we get. So good look there. And that's just by tagging a zip or any kind of Z, you know, I mean, anything to get to that other formation. Zip, something, Zulu, you know, you end up in that formation. Or you could go Rip or Liz to get the wings. Same thing there. It's just Rip Zulu. Like Frank, Rip Zulu. That was good. It's good. Now we throw the hitch, see? So this is one where, you know, we went ahead and threw the hitch because it gave us the hitch. So playing off. They got a lot of guys in the box, so they just take the hitch, 5-6 yard gain. But big deal, man. Efficient play. Again, these split field plays were some of the most efficient plays that we ran all year, every year, not just this year. Now we're back in this 3-man look, but we give it. So you got a rip in there. That's what we call it Cadillac when we ran this 3-0 lineman set. But here we're going to run ISO. So now we change the look. This is going to be an ISO where we're going to run inside zone, but we're going to lead up with the other wingback. Instead of wrapping them around, we're going to lead up and get the linebacker. See how we got him? And we end up getting a little rip there. See, we end up blocking the linebacker, gave us the extra guy, being the thing that sprung us. That was a good look. That should look like. All right, now we're in bunch. And this time is when we started reading the pop. So in this case, we swapped it because this is our quarterback who we didn't want to run as much. So a lot of times on this play this year, we would go in and block the end and read the backer. Well, if we're reading him with all that grass, this happened every now and then. Read him, he stays. You just throw that pop, get a touchdown. Nothing wrong with that either. So I'm not against the post-snap RPOs. That's all we're doing here. This is inside zone left. We just read the backer. We just made a call for that year. Most of the time when we did it, we let him throw it or hand it off instead of doing the hand it off or run it thing. There's another pop. So these are all inside zone calls. We just changed it. That's what I said. You figure out what you can do on these things that you just make sure you're attacking every zone. So this is how we would attack that outside zone in this particular game or in this particular year. Same thing there. The pop. See, we're reading 52 there. If you didn't understand that, the inside backer on that side. If he were to run out, we gave it. Most time we don't. So this is a double tight look. It's a good run. I think he gets walked there. So let's watch the back. All right. Double tight. Get a rip in there. That's a good looking play. I know this course is about being an empty, and most of the time we ran Roger and Louie, the play we talked about first, was an empty. This is obviously not an empty if we're going to run inside zone. But you got to be able to do some of this and just run at somebody. And because we're in it, we're almost backwards of everybody else. I feel like most people want to run this first. We ran our other stuff first, and then this was stealing. We just got downhill and ran at them. And this one we started running some triple. Instead of running him around in motion, we ran him deep. Did that a few times. Like I said, it's a very adaptable play. So here we got a guy coming in motion, but he's coming back for a pitch guy instead of being our lead blocker for the quarterback. So no big deal. Like I said, a lot of tags you could use to this, but it's the same exact thing for the O-line, same exact thing for running back. Just kind of figuring that quarterback out what they can do and then tag into that. See, here we got a pitch. So that was that same kind of complex when we were running it that way. I think we got a couple pitches in here to show that. Pull the camera guy. Same thing here. We got motion, pitch. Anybody have any question about that particular play? I feel like that's like universal football play now. So you guys probably don't, but I'm trying to include everything we did. Anybody got a question about inside zone or anything we did off of that? You guys probably teach me more than I can teach you about that. The last thing we're going to talk about tonight is sprint out. And what happened was we needed a play to attack the field when we didn't just want to call those two plays. All we had was those two plays we talked about tonight. screen right, hitch left, screen left, hitch right, run in a box some way, whether it's quarterback ISO or inside zone. So you start figuring, well, what if we line up like this and they put the whole team over here, and we don't want to throw a fast screen out here. We don't want, we got to have something else at least to the field. And then sprint out became that deal. And so, sprint out's a great play. A lot of people do a ton of sprint out, but for us, this is how we thought of it. I mean, we ran a little bit of it on, 3rd and 10, or I don't know, but mostly we did. Mostly it was like 1st and 10, we hard counted or we did something that it got everybody in the box, and it's like a safety and a corner out there, and we just want to throw the ball. So most of the time we ran what most people think of as a sail concept, like a going and out. Now earlier a few years ago, we were running more like a 5 out, but we really settled on more like a 10 out, and run him off, and then smash where we'd run this expand route. I don't like I'm running a hitch. Just kind of widen that hitch out and then run the corner behind it. We're gonna run one of those and just, quarterback sprint out there, take advantage of that part of the field and go. But it fits in this part of the course because it's a split field play. Like we called this pre-snap saying, we really like our look out there. And actually, ironically, these two drawings are horrible looks for it, But usually when we called this play, it was a corner and a safety, and this guy was up on the line or something. And it was great. We just blocked him, got out there, threw the ball, made it happen. So the O-line, reach right, hinge left, they're going to protect the right gaps, basically just zone right to everybody, hard protect. And then if nobody's in their gap, they're going to protect their inside gap. The back has the outside. Yeah. All right. So like you can see it here. I'll go a little slower on these during this meeting. All right, so see right here, like this is 2-on-2 out here. The whole team is out here playing the buck sweep down here or something. And so we had a safety off in the corner. So we just want to run him off, run him on an out, put it on him. The only thing that made this play bad was the quarterback took for dang ever to throw the ball here. Like we would have corrected this and feel like it should be out now. Don't throw it. Like this, we attacked this in. This is why it's in this part of the course. We just identified that part of the field as open, and instead of me telling him to throw a screen, I called sprint out, and he should have just thrown. The only way they can stop that play is for the corner to come up hard, and then the go should be open. So you're really reading the corner. Same thing here. We took forever to throw it, but we did get it thrown, and then we make a play. Then here we got to go and out, put it on them. Ending up here now, sprinting out, throwing it. That's a good job. Could he have run there? Absolutely. I don't mean. We're an empty, blocking the edge, throwing it. That's a really good throw. That's good technique by the quarterback. I don't know what the quarterback should look like. Out, throwing it on the break, chasing the throw. It's a good look there. Now we got trips. We might run a little flood concept, short out, deep out. And we got 3 receivers. We go short out, deep out. We go to short out. All right, now, when there's one receiver, a lot of times on one receiver, They're just going to run a 10 out by themselves, and we'll hit that something. So this is a single receiver we're sprinting to. He's just going to run 10 out. Why would you call that? Well, you don't have much other throws. You can throw the backside. But a lot of times it's because we feel like the guy's playing way off and it's 3rd and 8 or something. Like here, this guy was coming a lot, or he was staying in the box, and I think it was 3rd and 8 or something. So we sprinted into the boundary and just threw it to him. Turned out we were wrong. It got it in blitz, but we got the first down. So we got a lot of different variations of this, but I would just call it rodeo, and the kids would shake that out. They knew to run that sail concept normally. There's one receiver they ran out. If it was 3, you ran that flood, and then we would tag to smash. Same thing there, and this is probably a better look at what you're going to get this single receiver side. See how there's just no flat player over there. You just sprint out over there, make it a short throw, put it on him, throw it on the break. He probably could have thrown this even faster than he did, to be honest. All right, so now here I think we're going to run, this might be smash. But see, this is a yellow formation. We got the back feels like yellow, or we're running a lot of buck sweep to this into the boundary. These guys have figured that out. They put as many people as they can put into the boundary. And there's 2-on-2 out here. I mean, we got to win this matchup. And you can say, well, we're going to throw a screen. Well, let's say we threw a bubble. He blocks him, and he comes up and makes the tackle. Because a bubble is not a guaranteed to be an efficient play if it's completed. If this play is completed, it's going to be an efficient play. So we needed to be able to sprint out of here. I probably should have put this slide first to make my point of why I like this play. Everybody runs sprint out. I'm trying to sell it for what we did. And this defense epitomizes it. This particular game, this original high school, they were undefeated. We beat them. We ended up winning this game. It was the only time they lost all year. And we lost more than once. They were better than us. We just won this one game. But to put it in perspective, this was a really good team. What they did was take away our best stuff. We kind of had to go on to the next stuff. They did a good job. I mean, we're not going to get this buck sweep with the corner down and the safety over here. We got to do something up there. So we ran the wide hitch. They dropped, so we threw that. But even if he gets tackled by that first guy, we got 5 yards, so it's a play. And at least maybe they start putting somebody out there. So we hard counted them. And I'm over here saying, God Almighty, we got to run this to the side of it. Wish we'd have thrown it a little faster. We just got to probably practice that more. We got 2, we're on smash again. I think we got a hitch here and a corner here. Still probably should have thrown it faster about getting killed, but right throw. With the tight end, so it'd be like rifle, rodeo, smash. There's a bunch set, so we're going to run the bunch. I'm going to run him on the corner, him on the flat, so it's still smash. He's blocking. We're just doing it from a bunch set. That's a good look. Same thing here, bunch. We'll sprint out, got an out, corner. Good play. That's a good play on a bunch. Same thing here, bunch. Hit the corner behind them. One of these years, this end zone camera. All right, so that was our split field stuff. That was how we attacked all 3 parts of the field, the right flank, the left flank, and the box. And we could do it most of the time with no motion, and that's why it's different than our sweep series. So I hope that was helpful, and look forward to talking to everybody about verticals next.